So I've noticed that I've been doing sort of the same thing every single day, and the look's really easy to wear. It's quite summery, it's very feminine, it's got a really light base, so it's really easy in the hot weather, and I hope you like the finished result. So if you want to see my everyday makeup, then please keep watching. So I've just got my hair out of my face and I'm ready to start. So I'm starting with my Erborian BB cream, and I've got the lightest colour. This stuff I have a review of on my blog. I absolutely adore this product. It's super lightweight, so it's really blendable. I've got SPF 25, so it's really lovely in the summer. I tend to rub it in with my fingers. It's a really light consistency, so it's a little bit like a tinted moisturiser, maybe even a bit lighter than a tinted moisturiser because it's a BB cream. It's got quite light coverage, so I am using a concealer afterwards just for my under eye circles, which are really bad at the moment. But you do want something a little bit higher coverage, then go for maybe a foundation. It is brilliant if you do have problem skin, because what it does is, I find anyway, it actually helps heal your skin while you're wearing it. When your skin is having a breakout, the last thing that you want is to have to put products on it that are going to exacerbate that, block your pores and make your skin even worse. So if you do have bad skin, even though it is quite light coverage, pop it on as your base. When I was suffering from bad skin, I used this as my base underneath my foundations, and it seemed to really improve my skin. So I've rubbed that in with my fingers, and it's really easy to apply, super fast. Just because I want to make sure I've blended out all the edges, I'm going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush and just buff over. You don't really need to do this. I just like making sure I have a super flawless base. So that's the base done, and then I'm going to move on to concealer. Like I said, it's a really lightweight base. In the summer, I don't really want to wear really heavy foundations. I'm not really a big fan of having a load of makeup on my skin, so I am wearing the BB cream and a tiny bit of concealer and trying to keep my base as lightweight as possible so my skin can breathe as much as possible in this hot weather. Next up, I'm moving on to concealer, and I'm loving my Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer, and I'm using 020 True Ivory. I'm just going to pop this underneath my eyes and a little bit on my cheeks where I get a bit of redness. Going back into my Real Techniques buffing brush, I'm just going to buff that in to really work it into the skin. Take it over my eyelid as well, because it does create quite a nice base for eyeshadow. I'm sorry, I'm looking into my mirror. Really try and buff over the edges so you've got a flawless natural finish. Now I'm going to move on to contouring. Like a very subtle bit of shadow created just to define my cheekbones a little bit. I've been loving doing a cream contour recently because it's very natural. This is a bit of a budget buy actually, because this is the Makeup Revolution cream contour palette. If I open it up, so I'm going to be using this one. More of a straight top flat brush, getting a little bit of product on my brush. And then for contouring, all you want to do is to suck in your cheeks. There's a shadow created just under my cheekbone here. You want to put the cream, the contour, in that shadow underneath your cheekbone. You also want to make sure you're not bringing it too far into the face, so that's probably about, I'll blend up until there, because if you bring it farther forward, you might look like you've bruised your face. Just saying. Nestling it into the corner of my face and moving the brush back and forth. And I really like to get this super blended out. Blend it down my neck and under my chin to create a bit of a shadow there, and a little bit up and towards my temples. And then blend. You can see already compared to the other side, a very subtle shadow, and I just blend out. Do the same with the other side. So once you've got the basic principles of contouring, it's really quite simple. It's just about changing the shape of your face really very subtly through shadows and highlights. You just want to make sure you've got the right products to do so. So for example, I'm using creams. Make sure you don't put cream on top of powder, because then it can go a little bit cakey. So the reason I haven't powdered my face before is because I'm going to use creams and then put powders on top to help set the creams that I'm using. So once you're happy with your contour, I'm going to add some bronzer because it's summer, so I've been doing quite a bronzy look. So the bronzer I'm using, I rediscovered it. It's Benefit Dallas. So you can use it as a blush or as a bronzer. I'm going to use it as a bronzer, so I'm taking my Real Techniques blush brush, which works quite well for me as a bronzer brush. And I'm just going to sweep this in a 3 motion over my face. So tiny bit on the forehead, bringing it down, and then under my chin. And I'm going to go down my neck as well. So you don't want your neck to be a different colour to your face. And this just gives that lovely summery, sun-kissed glow. Okay, working with natural light is not as easy as it would be with artificial light, so I'm sorry if the light's changing. So to finish off my face, I'm going to use a blush, and this is a Lancome blush. It's just a beautiful, it's a little bit more like a terracotta, but it goes with the whole bronzy theme. So I'm taking a flat top blush brush and I'm just going to take a tiny bit that on my high points of my cheeks. Just literally a touch. And then, to really make sure it's buffed into the skin, big fluffy brush, my Real Techniques powder brush, and just blend it in. So on to brows, and I've been loving the Rimmel Professional Eyebrow Pencil. Comes with a little sort of brush on the top, so I'm just going to brush through my brows. And this pencil is quite dark, so I'm going really lightly with it. And then take the end and I sort of blend it through with the end, just to take off some of the concentration of colour. To set my brows in place, I'm loving the Maybelline Brow Drama in transparent, and I'm just going to run it through just to set them. And I find if you run the gel up and through your brows, you get a much more natural effect. So now I'm going to move on to eyes, so I'm just going to zoom in. I've been playing around with a few different shades, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing for the last couple of days. So I've actually been using this Makeup Revolution blush palette. Have picked up this shade. So it's super shimmery and pinky, but once it's on it looks absolutely gorgeous. So just taking a flat brush, I'm going to take that all across the lid. So this would normally be a highlighter, but I'm just using it all over my lid to catch the light really, and to create a super light base. And I'm going to move straight into the crease, so I'm taking my MAC 217, which seems to be permanently dark even though I've washed it, and seems to be a theme in this tutorial with Makeup Revolution. So I've got this Makeup Revolution Ultra Eyeshadows palette, and this one's in Flawless. Just taking this brown mid-tone colour. It'll be quite similar to Naked from the Naked palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix two colours for my crease. So taking my MAC 217, I'm dropping it into that little tiny bit of the brown shade from the Revolution palette. I've got this L'Oreal palette, the Nude palette, which I'm really loving, and this is the Rose palette from Nude collection. Those are the shades, and I'm going to take this quite mauvey shade. I'm going to use mostly that colour. So a little bit of brown, a little bit of the mauve, and then I'm just going to pop this into my crease. Focusing on the outer corner, winging it out slightly, because that's what I always do, because this is everyday makeup. This is going to be quite light. Try and blend out. And to help me blend, take a clean fluffy brush, blend over the edges. So once I've got the really subtle shadow, I'm going to pop the highlight onto my inner corner. So I'm just taking a little sort of pencil brush from my Revolution palette. Take this super shimmery colour, just pop it into the inner corners, just to open up my eye a little bit. But it instantly opens your eye up. So I've got my eyeshadow base, and I'm going to go in and draw a little cat pic. I've been going between using black and brown eyeliners, and today I'm going to go in with brown, and I'm using my Maybelline Master Precise Liquid Liner. It's got a super fine nib. These are perfect for creating that cat eye. Join up with the lash line, create a little line. Once you've got the basic shape, then you can go in and fill it in and perfect it. So I always like getting the wing first and then going back, sort of sorting it out. And at the moment I'm going between lining the whole upper lash line or just doing it halfway. So I'm just going to do it halfway today. So I'm really pushing the product into the lash line. So I've got both my little cat flicks on, and it's with brown liner, so it's a little bit more subtle than using a black, to alternate between the two depending on what I'm feeling. So to finish off my eyes, I'm going to line the inner lash line with black, and I'm just using this black waterproof Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes pencil. This is just to intensify the lash line. I'm going to curl my lashes with my Shimmer eyelash curlers. So get right to the base of the lash and hold for a good 5 seconds. Okay, and the mascara I've been using has been this Maybelline the Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. It's the waterproof, and I've been really liking it. It's really good at its job to get right to the base of the lashes and work it up and through. So I've got a few coats of that on my top lashes, and I've made sure to do my bottom lashes as well. So I'm just going to set everything in place. So I'm taking a big fluffy brush and my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Transparent, and I'm just going to run this all over my face, concentrating on my T-zone and specifically under my eyes. I'm going to finish with my lips, and I've been using 2 products on my lips, a liner and then a lipstick, and I've been going through the Rimmel London Lasting Finish Lip Liner, and this is in the colour Tiramisu. So I'm just going to line my lips with this and take it all over the lips. So create the shape first and then fill in. So not only does liner help line the lips, but it also creates a really lovely base for lipstick because it helps it last longer, basically, because it's quite dry on the lips, so it helps any product that you put on top of it last longer. I'm going to go and pop this Rimmel lipstick on, and this is one of the Kate Moss lipsticks, and this is in 56 Boho Nude, and I'm loving this colour at the moment. It's a really good dark nude. Pencil and the lipstick seem to go really well together. So this is the finished makeup look. I really hope you liked this video. These products, I've been really loving using them. It's a really lovely, bronzy, summery look. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again very soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.